morning, everyone. It's a pleasure being here. When Gwen told me about what UbiQ was going to be, I thought it was just a great opportunity for me to come here and talk to you a little bit more about Transmedia and monetization actually online. I'm going to go right now because Gavin's going to put pressure on me, so let's go ahead. Quickly, what Ubisoft is, bottom line, it's 6,500 employees worldwide. 5,500 of them are dedicated to production. And I'm in Montreal, where it's the biggest video game studio in the world. We are 2,200 people in Montreal. And we are working on such brands as Assassin's Creed 3 coming out this October. In Montreal as well, we are working on Far Cry 3. The Splinter Cell Blacklist is being developed at the Ubisoft Toronto studio. Watch Dogs, it's a brand new IP that we just launched 2 weeks ago at E3. It was named by a lot of the gaming sites as Game of Show. We're extremely proud of that. It was a great E3 for us. In Just Dance 4, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people playing actually this great party game. Actually, Just Dance 4 and Assassin's Creed 3 and the brand Assassins are our biggest brands and have been for the last few years, so it just shows the variety of our portfolio actually. And I just put the Raving Rabbits there because they're so huge in France, so I had to put them there, and they're funny as hell. Okay, what is Transmedia? Actually, Gavin was just talking about that a little bit a few minutes before me coming up here. But I wanna stress out that this is the position on Transmedia from UB Workshop. It's not necessarily a definition that you'll find on Wikipedia or anything like that, but it is our position on it. Transmedia is a story world-building technique that results into a coordinated multi-platform brand. Each platform is a standalone narrative endeavor connected to the universe. What that means is that if you have a novel and then you make the movie of the novel, it's not Transmedia. It's the same narrative. It's the same storyline. What happens is that it's also a buzzword. Transmedia is just fucking bullshit. Everyone uses it. I use it, but you know, it's because we have that definition to back it up. And we actually have a few projects that will back it up. It's not reinventing storytelling. People you know, like to say that. Storytelling has been the same since around the campfire ages ago. It's mean you need characters, you need universe, necessarily need a three-act structure, but you need to have these compelling stories. And I just think the new mediums are really interesting ways where you can tell stories. But it's not storytelling on new mediums. You hear that definition a lot. And it's not a marketing strategy or campaign. I have a hard time when I hear that Coca-Cola is doing Transmedia. But for us, it needs to be the basis of storytelling, always. Okay, one of the things is to create new points of entry into the brand by creating original, standalone yet connected narrative products. As an example, we created the Assassin's Creed comic series, where we create an entirely new assassin in the universe, connected to the games, connected to all the different mediums where we have storytelling on the Assassin's Creed brand. And we went and got, we don't do any licensing deals, we try not when the case is possible. So we went out and got the best comic book artists, 2 Eisner winners, which is the equivalent to the Oscars in the comic book world. And you're thinking to yourself, they went back to publishing, which is kind of like an old medium. Well, it allows you to create new content, create new points of entry, because maybe some people never taught or never heard about Assassin's Creed, but because it's a new medium, now they're into the brand. And it's something that gets distributed worldwide, and you know, piracy with game is huge, so maybe we have an opportunity to get some of the money back while they're still consuming our brand, while they're pirating. Now, we hope that they're consuming and getting a chance to pay a little bit for it. New business models and new platforms. That was a test we made a few years ago. It's a short animated movie. It was called Assassin's Creed Ascendance. And we made it for a few $100,000. It was linked to the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood game, the narrative. It was telling the story of Cesare Borgia, which is the nemesis in the game. And basically, we just wanted to test how can we sell these types of products, short movies, on iTunes, Xbox Live, PlayStation Network. Actually, it's a very profitable project, and actually the reviews were pretty good on it. So it was baby steps for us. We test the market with these types of things, and people appreciate because they see the quality and the value because it's a narrative product. Explore unreached territories by the games. Most of our games, at least for the Assassin's Creed brand, are sold on the Xbox 360 and the Sony PlayStation. These consoles are not distributed or don't have the services in every country. And this is why we are creating different products so we can go and we localize these things so we're able to distribute that in major countries. This is why our platform, ubiworkshop.com, we sell worldwide, and it's something we developed last year, which is the Assassin's Creed Encyclopedia. It's 356 pages. We stay in narrative. We never mention any product, but we always stay in narrative, and it's actually one of our best sellers. Over 120K have been distributed so far. And the V2 is coming out this year, actually. Push the technical convergence between games and other platforms. We are still a technological company. That was Assassin's Creed Embers I produced last year, which came out at the same time as the game Assassin's Creed Revelations. Again, the narrative connected to our main character, Ezio Auditore. It was the last installment on the gaming side. And in the game, if you've played the games, as an assassin, you cannot die in the game. And that's actually an issue, but we saw it as being a positive aspect, and that is why it's the epilogue of one of our main characters. It's a short animated movie, 22 minutes. We tested a year before with the distribution on Xbox Live, PlayStation Networks, and iTunes. We did it again, and we learned from our mistakes the first time. And actually, if you took all the numbers and all the gaming programs we did, with the pre-order programs, it's been distributed more than 1 million times. Thinking ahead by planting seeds or opening gateways. We have, in the Assassin's Creed brand, a puzzle maker. He's a brand a content director. But I call him the puzzle maker. That guy doesn't create any content. He's kind of like, the gatekeeper, making sure that, when you have a big brand like this, that guy right in the middle, not creating any content, is there to make sure that everything made on the brand is canon. Our fans are one of the most engaging fans in the gaming industry. They will point out every little mistake we make. And we saw that with the encyclopedia, and we fixed it rapidly. We're going to fix it again for the V2. But that gatekeeper, that puzzle maker is crucial. If you're developing a brand and you want to make sure you're engaging your community, you want to make sure that everything you do is canon. Create new IPs, embracing these principles from the beginning. The Transmedia philosophy that we have, that we've been testing for the last 3 years on Assassin's Creed, as now being the energy behind creating new IPs. Some IPs or some brands at Ubi, like Just Dance, they don't deserve any transmedia. There's no narrative behind it. If you push the envelope, people will feel that you're trying to screw them or milk your brand or whatever. In our cases, we are trying to create everything from the ground up. A secondary character in a narrative is crucial to your brand. Develop him as if he was a main character, as an example. So you really need to take, Star Wars is a good example, actually, of how they were able to do it from the beginning. And in the end, it's all about quality content. So before I move to monetization, show a little bit of a 3-minute video so you know exactly what Assassin's Creed is. Oops.
The latest discoveries in the field of genetic science now allow any individual to revisit the lives of their ancestors using the information stored in their DNA. Secrets hidden in the past, as well as useful insights for our future, are now available to us. Discover the technology of the Animus.
Okay. I want to go at gaming platforms 5 years ago. I'm going to end on Transmedia and see where we are in the gaming side. That was 5 years ago. So you had the 360, the PS3. The gaming PCs were pretty huge still with high-end PC games. The DS was huge. The Wii, of course. And these are the gaming platforms today. That's 5 years. The main consoles are still there, but you got the phones that are huge, the iPad. There are as many iPads today as there are 360s, just to give you an example. Google Play was launched a few months ago. Android with their app stores on Amazon.com. Of course, we all know the App Store, but Facebook, Steam, and Gree. Facebook and Gree are huge with DNA as well. They're just now gaming platforms that weren't there 5 years ago. Steam was there, but they didn't have 40 million people on them. 40 million hardcore gamers there wanting game content of quality. Gamers 5 years ago, these were the guys. Okay, gamers today, the gamers are still there, but my grandfather's actually playing games because he's got a phone, he's got the iPad. The same for kids. You know, put an iPad into a kid's hands, it takes 30 seconds, they're playing. You know, people are more playing today than they were. They were playing maybe Minesweeper 5 years ago, but we didn't have any data on that. They were playing a few games that they had installed already on their PCs. But now these people are consuming because of a few reasons. What changed? The explosion of mobile and tablets. There are 70 million iPads today. Those were launched a little bit more than 2 years ago. The Xbox 360 was launched in 2005. That's more than 7 years ago. Same number, and the iPad is way more expensive than a 360. Of course, the iPad will give you a different experience. But there's been a democratization. Sorry, I have a hard time with the word in English. But it's just crazy how the iPhone, 35 million units sold alone in Q1. 330 million Androids, who has 60% of the market. Who would have thought of that? Everybody thinks everybody has an iPhone, but it's not true if you take out the worldwide numbers. Another thing, where's the BlackBerry? That's actually a shame because it's Research in Motion was a great Canadian company, and I say was because the BlackBerry didn't adapt. Who has a BlackBerry in the audience? Don't be ashamed. Okay, keep your hands up. Do you have an iPhone as well? Yes. Everybody does. It's because the BlackBerry decided that it was only a phone good for work, and that's it. And that's why, you know, multitasking and everything was better with the other options. What changed? New economic model, microtransactions. Buying a songs for 99 cents, who would have thought of that for 10 years ago? Now, it's the norm. The App Store, you know, the one-click buy, you do it now, 99 cents. But when it starts adding up, for developers, it is really interesting. One of the main issues, though, with the App Stores is how to search for something. It's the top apps that will always do the money. There are more than 500,000 apps on the App Stores. Finding and being the one that makes it out and is a breakthrough is extremely difficult. The free-to-play model that's been huge for years in Korea and Asia, now people are getting into it. Either if it's a web-based or a client download, people are starting to understand these models where they can play for free, and if they want to have a better experience, well, they can play a little bit more. Subscription base, you know, World of Warcraft, people have been paying their monthly fee to play, but now it's been completely changed with the appearance of Call of Duty Elite. Call of Duty, one of the major brands, sells 15 million units each time it comes out every year, but now they're getting $50 more from the players because they're giving you a gaming season where you have downloadable content given to you prior to the other consumers. You have all your stats. Basically, it's a service, but it's $50 a year that they're getting out of you. And they have 2 million subscribers that are paying, and it's 7.5 million people that are on this platform for free. So they're offering both, and EA reacted with the Battlefield platform just coming out. But it's all about data. You've been hearing about that yesterday, I guess, but it is all about data. We had data 10 years ago, but you can't turn on a dime. Today, you have data, it's instant, and you need to have everything in place to be ready to react. If something is not working, ideally you want your data to tell you why. And that's why you need to build, and it says that's what we're doing and building at improving our BI, or business intelligence, and our analytics. It's basically e-commerce in a way, in real time, that we are pushing. And if you have a platform, this is where I'm going, you know, you need to be able to get that data. The explosion of social networks. Everybody thinks about Facebooks, of course, but GRI and DNA are Japanese social networks that are now getting into the US. But the way that they are doing is that they are a gaming platform first. They got multiple titles, and you're going to see the numbers on to your right. They are staggering. It is crazy. Those were on the Wall Street Journals a few days ago. It is just simply unbelievable, the numbers they're pulling. Why? Because they're a platform. They're just not a social media. They see themselves as a platform. Steam, as I was talking about, 40 million people dedicated to gaming are there. Big Point being one of them as well. It's a competitor. But we try to be on all of these platforms. And ideally, if you can, is to have specified content for each of these platforms. But who's next? That's the big question. You need to be on the lookout of what's gaining ground, what's going to be the next big thing, and you need to position yourself or position your brand on it in a way that for us we feel is crucial. But for us, it's all about quality content. Forget it if you're doing crap. If you're just trying to make a quick buck, it's not going to work. You need to have quality content. People now, consumers today online, there's so much competition that they know what quality is. And if you get them into your universes by giving them, compelling experiences and quality content, they'll keep coming. But all in all, it's about quality. It's about the community. Build your communities. Engage your communities. Don't try, to have the approach to gain more money from them. They'll give you the money if you make quality content. They'll give you the money if you engage them. If you give them the tools, forums to explore themselves. But it's more than that. On Assassin's Creed, we are now building a platform. I shouldn't say this, but we are now building a platform where these tools, I don't know if you saw, but I got pictures last week of an Assassin's Creed wedding, a real one. People all dressed. Cosplay is huge. Well, we should give them the forums and the platforms so they could express themselves. And we need to push these things. And again, find the right platforms, BI analytics, and basically all in all, have fun. Have fun creating these things and give fun to your consumers. At least this is what we try to do. Assassin's Creed, yes, it's a brand, it's a mature brand, but at the same time, we have fans. I mean, we're more than 30 million units sold. It's a game that's positioned worldwide in every country. And we see it on ubiworkshop.com where we get the data. It's a small platform now, but baby steps, they work really well. Start small, grow bigger, get data, adapt, and always find the right partners and the right platform. And this will get you, I think, the way to go. On time, man. Did you see that?
Way to go. Unbelievable. Excellent job. Come on out.
That was on the money.
Yeah, you were. Gaming.
Yeah.
Everything we talk about, I mean, on the TV side, on the radio side, on publishing, gaming seems to dwarf everything. I mean, it's bigger than most Hollywood movies, Hollywood and everything combined. If you are not in the gaming business like you are, and you want to start your business or you want to move towards that, is the best thing to do go and build a gaming app for the content you know about? Like, what is someone's strategy? What strategy would you give people in order to start generating revenue and learning? Because it's really not about actually building the game. It's about learning how to get into gaming.
It's all about the experience. For me, you need to be unique.
But what does that mean?
Being unique, being different, catching the eye. If you're just making the same thing as everybody else is making, what's the point?
Now, in India...
You're not going to be able to differentiate yourself when you have 500,000 apps. You need to be...
But I don't know anything about gaming, right? I'm about to get into the gaming business, right? I've decided I'm going to make a game. I came up with something yesterday, and I think everyone liked it. I'm going to decide to make the game. Now, the point is that I can go to India, right? There's 2 companies that build a game a day. I can repurpose that game. Now, it's not a unique experience, but I can put it on my website and maybe generate $1,500 a month or something like that. Is that a good start for me, or should I just...
It could be, but you're not going to, it's not going to be viable.
The question
I'll give you an example.
How do I get the intelligence? How do I get the intelligence into my company if I'm not a gaming company?
Well, first I'll give you an example. Rovio, who played Angry Birds?
I never played it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Angry Birds. They failed 39 times. They were going bankrupt before it came out.
You're going to tell all these people they have to go bankrupt before
What I'm saying is that fail. What
Fail.
I'm saying to you is fail and fail fast and learn. It's the best way.
Okay,
Baby
easy
steps,
for you to
but
say.
fail.
Easy for you to say.
Hey,
you
I'm
work
in a
at
big
Ubisoft.
company. I can fail. I'm being funded.
You can
That's
fail
easy.
all the time.
Yes, I agree.
I can't fail. So what do? Do I put aside 20,000 euros, or what's something that you've seen in the real world where I want to get into gaming, grab the intelligence? How do I do it?
First, there are a lot of good indie developers that are looking for people that know business.
Yeah.
So what I would do, if I would start tomorrow, I would find the best indie developers, and I would work with them.
How do I find them?
Well, the web, buddy.
The web?
Everything's there.
Okay, so I type in best indie developer?
You look at it. You go on the forums, you go there, you go deep, you contact the people. I was at E3 last week. I met a lot of great indie developers, people that have great ideas.
So if you're not in
they don't
gaming-
have the business sense maybe behind it. But
So if you're not
you
in
can
gaming,
provide that.
best thing to do, maybe go to E3.
Or Gamescom for people that are here.
Gamescom, when's that?
Gamescom, it's in late August.
Yeah.
It's the biggest show in Europe, and it's in Cologne in Germany.
Yeah.
But you can find most of these things online. I mean, Minecraft is just mind-boggling. Go to Kickstarter, go and see what's being made. Kickstarter.com, it's you just pitch your project right there, and if it's good, people will fund you.
Are there gaming products?
There are a lot of games that
being
are in
funded.
Kickstarter that are being funded there. Look at the models. Look at what's being made. Like I'm saying, fail. Or try to look at what how people are failing to learn.
But I don't want to fail.
Well, I'm sorry.
I want to win.
Kevin, you're like that.
Excellent presentation. Thanks so
you.
much for coming, LP.
Thanks, everyone.